Oh, SU, la 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 la, and you're like, okay. I'm Annie O'Connor. I'm the outgoing Sports Societies and Events Officer at Sussex Students' Union. I think just being surrounded by people who have like a different and progressive and positive vision of what education, but generally like society can be like. Being surrounded by people who have that shared vision and are like really passionate about moving towards it and like thinking about how we can do that. It's just so positive and it kind of like gets you through the more difficult bits, like it spurs you on. I love the building, I love Falmer House. I love the campus as well. It's so green, even though it's going through a few changes in the next few months. And especially like the officer team, I will miss them so much in this role and like having the kind of support I've had from them. We all said I don't think we'll ever be at another organisation where the team is quite so caring. You've really got to invest in collective care, you and your team, and building up those relationships. And like being honest if there are points where it's like it's not working very well, something's happened and you're like, guys, let's think about how that went, maybe we should do things differently. I think we've just created like a really, really nice, good culture in our team, which I want to take away into like every team I work in outside of work. The best advice I could probably give specifically to the Sports Societies and Events Officer is not to see the kind of political campaigny side of student unionism and your job as separate to those things. It's really counterproductive because although there's like, you know, a type of Sussex student who is very much into campaigning and activism, and that student in your mind might not be someone who is also like, you know, captain of the women's football team. It's not true. And also if you want to be successful in whatever campaigns you're trying to run, even if they do feel irrelevant to clubs and societies, the most organised group of students that you've got are the students in clubs and societies. They're engaged in the union, they're reliant on the union for funding and things like that. They have elections every single year. They're kind of like the most reliable students to vote in the officer elections. Like they're really engaged and they're organised and they have like channels of communication and representation throughout them because they have regular meetings, they have like their presidents, etc. My advice would just be to put those two things together and realise how resourceful those students can be. And like don't let stereotypes cloud who you think is going to be interested in doing what, because the past 2 years have shown me that that's normally completely wrong. Probably not to take things personally. I imagine it's like this for all elected representatives, but it feels like it's more than a job. It feels like it just becomes you. Wherever you go, the student might stop you and be like, oh, SU, la 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 la, and you're like, okay. So I think probably because of that, if something goes wrong or you get into an argument with someone from the uni or someone undermines you in some way, it's quite easy to take personally. And I think you've just always got to remember, like, this is also kind of more how things should be, right? Like, it shouldn't be the same type of people who are always occupying these spaces. And this is a university, it's a students' university, there should be student representation everywhere. If anything, you're the only person in that room who's actually been elected to be there, who has people who want you to be there, who can give their view for them, rather than several other people who will be in that space. So as time goes on, you start to get over that and build confidence and be like, no, I should be in this space. Why are you in this space, actually? So definitely invest time in building relationships with people, because also then if you have people in that room who once you've presented something or whatever it is will be like, that was really great, then you'll be like, oh, and then that slowly builds your confidence over time. It doesn't exist for this purpose, but like something the SU does and staff do well is like build officers up after they'll be like, oh, this really stressful thing happened. So you do have that support. I think it is just relationship building, debriefing with other people so you can reflect and I guess fine to be critical of yourself if you're like, maybe you shouldn't have said this or whatever. And then you can just learn and get better. That's a very big question. Yeah. Probably trying to bring more of the like old school mass participation stuff back into the students' union. All student unions and literally society had been moving towards this really intense service model. And you feel it in yourself, and you also feel it if you, like, for instance, if you work at a shop or whatever, it's like people just see you as a service rather than a person. And so at the SU, I think it had become a bit like we exist to help students, which means that we just do things for students. and they'll come and we'll be like, we'll do this for you, we'll do this for you, we'll do this for you. Yeah, so it becomes like more of a service, which doesn't line up with the democratic principles of like students do things. That is what the students' union is. We've tried to change that around a bit more and be like, sometimes we can do things for you, but there's so many students that that's always going to be self-defeating, and the only thing you can really do is build students up to do things for themselves and do things with students. And I think we've really tried to bring that in to this place and kind of spread it across different teams as like a way of working with people. You know, spread it throughout the student population. This is what the students' union is, it's your union, you do things through the student union, we're going to train you and help you to understand these things, and we'll tell you what's going on at the uni, but like if you're not happy with something or you want to change something, you can, because we're that kind of organisation, we're your organisation, but you need to like organise with each other to do that, and we'll help you. We're like side by side with you.